welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are in the Rising Stones to meet Tataru and start patch 6.1. Newfound Adventure. Desiree, how lovely to see you. If you're not in too much of a rush, I was about to make a pot of tea. Would you like a cup? Take a seat then, and find us something to nibble on as well.
It's so much quieter these days without everyone around. Not that I'm pining for your return, you understand.
Yeah, because if we all return, it would mean there's trouble afoot.
I have my sources, and I know that each and every one of you is doing well and keeping busy with your endeavors. Meanwhile, I'm left with a surplus of free time and the question of how to make the most of it.
Don't you have a business to run?
What about you? Any plans for the immediate future?
A grand new adventure, of course.
Traveling to the edge of existence and back wasn't enough? Well, if that's the case, I might have a suggestion for you. You've fought bravely and selflessly, helping those in need and saving our star from unimaginable threats. For your deeds, you've been hailed as the champion of Eorzea and a host of other incredible things. But why not put those titles aside for a while?
Meaning?
Acquit yourself as a simple adventurer again, and travel the world in search of wonder.
You're right. Who knows what mysteries are still waiting to be discovered?
Oh, that's the spirit. I can feel from here the blazing fire that just lit in your belly. Now, all you need is a destination. If you're having trouble deciding, just leave it to me.
Alright, I'm listening.
Thavnair. That's where you should go next. I doubt you were able to squeeze in a proper tour of Radzatan the last time you were there. What with the burning skies and rampaging monsters and so forth. And I'm sure Ritra would be pleased to see you. Then there's the bounty itself. The Empire's presence in the region was always a deterrent to exploration. So if you've a mind to sail that sea, now's your chance. Just think of all the new experiences you could have.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty? As the bearer of Azem's crystal, you may consider your duty to see at least that much.
Oh, I know that look. That's an adventurer ready to take on the world.
It is.
In anticipation of an occasion like this, I was planning to gift you a new set of traveling clothes, but it's still a work in progress. Shouldn't take much longer now though, so sit tight and I'll have the last few bits sewn up before you can finish another cup of tea.
You're the best, Tataru.
Stitch in here and trim in there. Knot the threads with love and care. Just a little more to go. I'm sure you're still brimming with excitement. I am one with the needle. See how the fabric surrenders to my whims. Don't worry. I'll make sure the lining has plenty of pockets for all your little treasures. I swear adventurers are worse than children when it comes to hoarding every feather and leaf and animal hide they come across.
I can't deny that, I guess.
Oh, we mustn't forget the waterproofing. Gods forbid you forget to disrobe before plunging into the sea, or a river, or a piping hot bath.
Yeah, because you do not change your dress always when you just go for a dive. Is this a dream? I don't think so.
And thus I am returned.
Newfound Adventure.
Ah, you're awake. My apologies. I do get a little carried away with my sewing.
It's okay.
You seem awfully cheerful. Pleasant dream? Or are you just looking forward to the next chapter of your grand saga?
Well, Adam.
Either way, I promise to provide you with new apparel, and so I shall. If you'll accompany me to the Diamond Forge, we can put the finishing touches on your outfit. Shall we?
Okay. As long as I'm not being ambushed again. Observe as the artist refines her piece into a masterpiece. And no editing this time, I only need a moment, you see. A little more room in the shoulders, open up the cuffs, final adjustments to the hem. All done, let's see how it looks on the mannequin. What do you think? Doesn't it just seem ready for a bold new adventure? Yeah? Not sure if it fits Desiree, but it looks fitting for the theme. I'm so glad you approve. So, what do I owe you? Oh, don't be silly. Your approval is payment enough. If you really want to thank me though, all I ask is that you wear this on your travels. Ah. Or at least anywhere a lot of adventurers might gather. Well, look at you, a famous hero and wonder. Where did you purchase those stylish and practical garments? Before you know it, hordes of new customers will be climbing over each other to place orders at Taru's boutique. So Tataru is working for exposure. I can hear it now, the merry clinking of gil overflowing from my coffers. Sweet music to my ears. Burgeoning merchant empires aside, you must be excited to start a fresh chapter of your life. New places to go, new people to meet. I often wonder how you remember all your experiences and exploits without taking at least a few notes. Oh, maybe you should start doing just that. You never know when some odd past detail might become relevant, or if one day you take a blow to the head and forget the better part of a past decade. Something to keep in mind in any case. Collection expanded, the unending codex. Yeah, we now have a codex for all the characters and past events that will slowly, over the next few patches, will begin filling with all that happened in the last 10 years or so. New entries for prominent terms and characters will be added into the codex as we progress through the main scenario quest. And I wonder if this is in preparation for a new starting point for new players or something. Bountiful Ruins. As a former receptionist and sometimes intelligence gatherer of a science, allow me to offer you a word of advice. Do not expect juicy rumors to simply fall into your lap. Adventurers rely on gossip, and the best places to pick up information are taverns and markets. At present, you only have a broad destination in mind. When you arrive in Thavnair, I suggest you explore your options at Merit's Mehan, the finest brewing establishment in Razatan. Charm the employees, and they not only point you in the direction of a local tale-tellers, but also share with you the tricks for loosening their tongues. Now I really must be getting back to running my boutique. Enjoy the journey, Desiree. May fair fortune find you. All but I take a quick detour just to get the items into the armor. Also, there is a airship dock here, so I can get to Razatan from here. Alright, at the man. Milel. You're one of the servers here. Welcome to Merit's Mehan. Oh, hello. I did not recognize you at first. Are you here alone? Let me find you a table. Ruins beneath a bounty. Would you be speaking of a sunken treasure vault? We have one regular, a historian in fact, who could tell you all about it. Ah, there he is, Professor Yalheen. I thought I saw him coming. Although a somewhat private sort, the professor is quick to befriend those who share his fondness for Mehan's unique beverages. Offer him any drink from our selection, and he should happily share everything he knows about the world you seek, and a few other odd bits besides. Whatever you buy for him is on the house, by the way. If Merit found out I took coin from Thavnair's savior, she would have me scrubbing pots for a week. Yes? The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. And what may I do for you, my yours in front? Just a friendly chat. How about a drink? Well, I certainly wouldn't say no to a drink freely offered. Here we are. One of Merit's finest. Enjoy. Ah, lovely. Bottoms up. Yaline empties the cup in a single pull. That was very kind of you, miss, but I know when I'm being softened up. What is it you want from me? Oh, chasing down that old tale, are you? Does seem to appeal to the adventurers at heart. Now, where to begin? Might I assume you've heard of Azadal? He was a Han of the Ori tribe which sailed to Thavnair from the mainland, and a key figure in the history of Razatan. His decision to aid the Akasadara is what ultimately won them the war against the Gajazura, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundation for this thriving city-state. The truly fascinating stories, however, concern his grandson, Alzadal III, who was known for his deeds as satrap in Razatan's earlier days. Some attest that this man traveled to another world entirely and returned with glittering riches. Others that he brokered an alliance with a certain worm of a first brood. Then there's the tale of a sunken vault, the one you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Alzadal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of a bounty. They built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. In the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Razatan, folk would remember that tale of hidden treasure. Hardy souls would set out to claim their fortune, but precious few ever made it home. Would you like to hear more? Apologies. I have a slight tickle in my... my cup appears to be empty. Milil, another round for the professor. I see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. Another for the professor. Today was a splendid day to visit the Mayan. Yahil gulps down his newest drink with gusto. Very, yes. Those who did return from seeking the treasure vault flatly refused to speak of what they saw. Did this discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Chet's accounts only served to feed the legend, and the golden lure grew stronger than ever before. It reminds me of something Azama was saying. Azama's a fellow connoisseur of spiritual portables. Yes, he is. Anyway, he was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been seen since he's at sailor here, but he did have... No, can't say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? If my words sent you to the death, I could never live with myself. I'm no stranger to peril. Is it so? Perhaps it's your turn to tell a tale then. What manner of dangers have you faced? The very edge of existence? From anyone else, I'd struggle to believe it, but I recognize you now. You're a hero of the final days. A drink. I need another drink to settle my nerves. Melil, more of the same, if you please. As you wish, but this one is on your coin, Professor. Yalil drains it another cup dry. Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a little more. This friend of ours, Thomas, he was desperate to buy a treasure map, one which showed the way to the entrance of a vault. Seems he could only get it from some merchant. What's his name? I forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my new best friend. Maleo, more drinks! Sing it for water instead, I think. Your drink, sir. Ah, marvelous. I'm parched. Yahil gulps down the cup of water. That was water. Did you tell her to bring me water? Still, that's probably for the best. Very kind of you, really. My head will certainly thank you in the morning. I seem to have overindulged. I am put in mind of the words of Master Yazan. Be wary how much of a drink you swallow, lest it swallow you. Forgive me. I will subject you to no more of these unseemly antics. If you want to speak with Azama, well, as I say, we share a taste for Mayan's fine spirits. He probably came in as we were talking. I wish you fortune in finding your fortune. You appear to have learned all that Yalhil has to share regarding the undersea vault. To find out more, you will need to locate a man by the name of Azama. The professor was able to help you, I hope. He was. And look, there is someone with a proper name tag. Yes, I'm Azama, and who might you be? Oh, too, I'm afraid. My friend took a ship out in search of Azadar's legacy. They've been watching for his sails ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. And that look in his eyes, I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he lusted after. He was hunting Azadar the Third's otherworldly hoard, and his ambition would not be denied. I see it in you too, that appetite for the mysterious and the unknown. But I do not attempt to turn you from your path. I know too well the futility of that endeavor. So I will tell you what my friend told me. How he convinced the merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. It seems the merchant, one Zashal, I believe, is selling a map which shows the exact route, but my friend's purse was too light for its exorbitant price. With what meager wealth he had, he instead paid to learn that there are ruins on a small island somewhere in the bounty, and within those ruins hides a path to the vault deep below. If you truly intend on seeking Azadar's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home. Huh.
Please, Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness? So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han. and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy.
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king, boy. Your scrawny-eyed had never returned with that treasure alive. Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim? How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map! Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoard they stand to uncover.
Yeah, obviously fake, really. Estinian.
What of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price?
Hey.
Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure. But why Thavnair of all places? Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping. Ruins beneath the bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I fleece one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
Well, at least he knows it's us, right?
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure.
Never took you for a treasure hunter.
Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days.
A noble endeavor.
I hope to do for Thavnair what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove. Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits.
Okay, fair enough.
Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant. Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent, whether the map leads us to the vault or not. You are coming along, yes?
Naturally.
I thought as much. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
And where's the boy? Estinian has been added to the unending codex. You recall I spoke of visiting Thavnair at Vitra's request? Well, he finally invited me to a feast, and made his proposal once I was too full of Hannish delights to refuse. He wishes me to train the Radiant Host in lance work. But that is a tale for another time. What we need now is a merchant or a trawler with a ship fit for the open sea. Matsi is a fisherman by trade, yes? We should head to Akyali and see if he can help us. Alright. I'm hoping to hire a ship, of course, rather than buy one. My funds would not stretch quite that far. My friends, what brings us to our humble village? We need a ship. We hope we could hire someone to carry us. So we need a seaworthy vessel to seek those ruins? Considering it was your deed which allowed us to return to fishing, I should think everyone would be glad for a chance to repay the favor. Wait here and I will have a boat stocked and ready for you in no time at all. Have you noticed our little shadow? He's been following us since we left the city. We see you there, boy. Show yourself. Ah, it is you. Do you know how far out of our way we walked so that you'd not cross paths with some wild beast? I'm sorry, sir, but aren't you the heroes who saved Thavnair? You are, I know you are. I've gone and cheated you. I work with Sashal, you see, the map merchant. It's my job to play the pleading orphan and convince the crowd his wares are worth the price he asks. I'm ashamed of what I've done and beg for your forgiveness. Not for you, my sister and I would never have... Well, we'd be... Enough. I knew your game and I paid the price willingly. A fortunate purchase, as it turns out, for my friend here was seeking those very ruins. I did? You're too kind to overlook the wrong I've done you. But there's more you need to know. The map you bought is very real, as is the island it shows. I overheard Charles selling the information to another customer. He told that man where he needed to search, about the ruins, about the vault, about everything. The man set out to find his fortune, and never to return. You cannot go alone to that place. You should have more friends with you, maybe even a whole army. I do not doubt the ruins hold danger, but I assure you, between the two of us, there's little we cannot overcome. Please, I cannot bear the thought of... Huh. We could invite our comrades. That we could, assuming we do find this treasure hoard. It may prove wise to have more hands along for carrying. Any ideas on whom to approach? The signs have scattered far and wide since our last gathering. Graha? And Cryle? Aye, Cryle may have her hands full rebuilding the students, but if you reach out to Graha, he would surely leap at the invitation. Did that set your mind at ease? Yes, if that man is as strong as you... is he well? Strong, I mean? Yep. What's your name, boy? Marat, sir. Well, Marat, your life is yours to live as you will, but I suggest you find a more honest trade if you truly wish to keep your sister safe. I'm not proud of what I do. But what choice do I have? We need to eat and everyone's too busy rebuilding their own lives to bother with two grubby orphans. Wait, boy. I didn't take this roundabout way just to see you end up in some creature's belly. Let me walk you back to the city gates. Thank you, sir. Call me Estinian. Good, but we end the episode and it appears next time we carry on inviting our friends. Estinius is, I think he's not as gruff as he makes out to be. Even he can see it, huh? But Estinius is actually a rather nice guy. Anyway, until next time, man, I'm Mace and don't get lost.